Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all today? Another bright, sunny, hot day for all of you, I hope, unless you're outside of the UK or you've got a bit of rain today. Do let me know. But it's lovely and warm here in Wakefield, but we're still doing Christmas inside. So like I said last week, it might be summer out there, but it's absolutely a winter wonderland in here. So my name is Claire Manning from Thirsty Brush, and this is the How to Craft Network channel. If you haven't been here before, don't worry, enjoy the video today and then hit that subscribe button and the bell and you will be notified of all our lovely crafty videos from all our demonstrators here at How to Craft. So who's here today and what are you saying about your weather? Nola, it's hot. Oh, you live not far from me, so I'm guessing it's still warm in Birmingham. Cloudy here. Liz, where were you again? Remind me. Cloudy down in the southwest. I think it's been a bit cloudy here, hasn't it? Nothing up in the north, but it's still very warm. But I am basking in amazing air conditioning in Tony's offices and studio, not melting in my own little tiny office like I was last week and well, all week. Really, I won't even tell you how I was cooling myself down yesterday in the office. Anyway, I am a bit of a giddy kipper because I have got so much to share with you today. I have got a demonstration as normal. I'm going to show you a couple of things first though. It's not a selly hour, it is a demonstration hour, as all of our Thirsty Thursdays are, unless I tell you that we're launching something. But I've got to tell you about these things because you've been patient and waiting for them and you've been asking me about them loads. So I wouldn't be doing you guys a service if I didn't tell you about them. So who saw my social media post saying the white confetti ink is back in stock? Yeah! And I know it's been months, guys. I'm fully aware that you've been waiting patiently and there's still some other things that you've been asking for. But this is the white lace double up confetti ink watercolour paint. So if you need it and you've been waiting for it, pop on either Stamps by Me or Thirsty Brush, and it will be on the Create and Craft show as well if you'd rather add it to your basket, because you're going to buy some crafty goodies, Christmas goodies on Monday when I do my launch on Create and Craft. So up to you. If you haven't seen this before and you're thinking, okay, what's all the hype and the big deal about a white paint? Yeah, because everybody goes nuts over this paint, right? And everybody was like nearly in tears when it sold out last time. Let me just very, very quickly, it's not a demonstration, but just as in a full card, but I'm just going to very, very quickly explain to you what's so special about it. So confetti ink is my range of watercolour inks and paints. So we have metallic ones and we have double up ones. And what that means is double the pigment in the paint. So it's absolutely packed in. So that means you get an opaque look, kind of like you were going to use a acrylic paint. So it shows up on dark card. This is pure black card. But because it's in a pan like a watercolour, you get the ability to water it down as well. So you get the best of both worlds. And I personally find it easier to work with this kind of pan paint than even when I'm using opaque type things rather than tubes and acrylic. I don't know why, it's just me, I just prefer it. They come in these huge pots, so it's going to last you ages. Great for your splats, let's do a few of those. You can paint with it. If you want to see painting flowers and feathers, check out the other videos in the Thirsty Brush playlist, because there's a few on there just showing you beautiful piece of artwork and things for your cards with just the white paint. So that's that. So that's number one to show you, and I'll be using that in my demonstration as well, but I just wanted to quickly explain what it is, because if you haven't been here before or you haven't seen that paint before, you might be thinking, yes, a part of white paint, Claire, can't be that exciting, but it really is. Our Tony loves it as well. So the next thing you've been asking me for is to see the amazing Northern Lights papers that are coming on Monday. So if you saw last week the Winter Wonderland launch of stamps, dies, stencils, you'll be, you might have purchased a bit, or you might be thinking, waiting for the shows on Create and Craft on Monday the 14th. But what I did say was that I'd got a special addition to the show on Create and Craft. And this is exclusive to Create and Craft until after Monday's shows. So I'm on, I think, 7:30 in the morning, the first on Monday, which is amazing for their second week of the Christmas event. And then, assuming there's enough stock left, I have given them loads, like as much as a small brand that I could possibly muster. I've given them, so hopefully there'll be plenty of stock for the noon show as well, if you don't catch it first thing in the morning. But I've been given some sneak peeks and showing a few bits on social media of the papers. I'm so proud of them. So I thought they're not available today, so don't get looking for them on our websites or anything. They are going to be, the first time that they're available is Monday's show on Create and Craft. But I want to show you the designs. So if you've never had our papers before, they're always 200 GSM. They are uncoated, so you can stamp on them. You can emboss on them. You can even watercolour on them a little bit if you want to add any extra colour. You can obviously chop them up, die cut them. You can use them on your cards. You can use them on your home decor projects. They are truly beautiful. Now, I knew that when I picked the designs that they were going to be beautiful, but I didn't realise till I got them in my hand quite how stunning the colours are. The fact that looks like glitter, and there's nothing on there, it's just the colours and the light and shade in the paper. And the tones are just going to give your Christmas cards, it's a slightly different one, something really, really amazing. Something really unique. I've never seen ones like this before. Oh, I think I've missed one. Yeah, the beautiful lamppost. And this is an 8x8 set. So there's 8 designs, 24 sheets, 3 of each, but that's not where it ends. You get in a little bundle. Look at the little mini ones. They are so, so cute. So these are 4x4s of the same. So think about your little mini books if you make those. Tags, small cards, just as a focal point or an element on your cards itself, but they are exactly the same designs, shrunk down, and you are going to find them really, really useful, and they are super, super cute. So when I gave these to the design team, my fabulous design team girls, hello Gemma, Leanne and Kerry, I've got the best design team. Me and Tony are always arguing about who's got the best. No, they're all amazing. I know them all. But when I gave them these papers, they always do what Gemma said to me yesterday is the 3-point test for papers. And I'm very pleased to say that she said that they passed. So what's her 3-point test? She said, well, do you want to stroke it? And yes, they're very strokeable. Even though they're not coated, they do have a nice smoothness to them. But like I say, they're not that shiny. If you've ever cut a card and things like that and tried to stamp on it or do anything and it's just slid off, that means it's coated. So this is uncoated, means it's absorbent, so it can take all those extra techniques. If you want to ink blend on and add anything to it. But to be honest, they're just, I mean, how long would it take you to create a watercolour background like that? The next test is the sniff test. So I always do this with papers, don't you? Papers, magazines, books, anything. So she said that it passes that. And then she said the wobble test. So I said 200. So she said it doesn't flop. You know, like if you had a piece of, got a piece of like copier paper, and if you held it up like that, it would just flop down, wouldn't you? So we say paper, but 200 GSM is virgin on card, isn't it? So it's perfect weight for maybe not your big boxes. Maybe you can make those out of some construction board or thicker card and then layer some designs on top. But it will absolutely take, if you want to make gift card holders, if you want to make small boxes, you know, any small construction, it is more than durable enough for that. Yay! So like I say, get those on Monday. But also to mention, if you got the stamp and dies like last week, you can sit back and join in and just watch the demos. But obviously those papers and the paint will be available for you too if you wanted to top up what you've already bought. But, I would say tune in anyway, even if you're not buying, because you get ideas. I do different demos in here than I do on the television, so I try and mix it up for you as much as humanly possible. I've rambled on a bit there, haven't I? That's everybody saying. Wow, I love the papers, both great sizes. They look stunning. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. I hope you're all well today and staying cool anyway. So before I start my demonstration for today and show you what I'm going to be up to, there's a little video, if you haven't seen the full collection that we launched for Winter Wonderland, there's just a little bit of inspiration for you. So come back to me in a minute or so, or stay tuned, and I'll be cracking on with my demonstration. Did you enjoy that? And Nathan works very, very hard on our beautiful videos to showcase all our lovely designs and the design team's work. So I hope that gives you a few ideas of what you might be doing with your stamp dies and stencils when you get them. Just to mention as well, I couldn't believe how popular it was last week. So I know some of you haven't received your dispatch notes yet. Notification to say that your order is on its way. Just hold tight. I promise you, the girls are working flat out to get them out. I've seen them literally like dripping here. So you bought a lot more than I thought you were going to buy last Thursday. I thought I might get a few and then you'll all wait for Crate and Craft, but you all bought tons and tons last week. And so between my launch and Tony's launch, those girls have been squirreling away with all those parcels. So do sit tight, you will get notified, but thank you for your patience in the meantime. So let's get some demonstration done. So I want to use those papers and give you an even more of a teaser of how to use them and show you how you can stamp onto them. So I'm going to use these two stamps from the release. This is the Merriest Time of All. This one, neither of these in fact have dies with them. These are stamp onlys. So you've got this lovely musical flourish border, and then these other elements that you can build up or use to make your own backgrounds, some lovely sentiments. And you'll notice there's a bit of a theme throughout the musical sets in the collection, where the sentiments are mostly lines from Christmas songs or hymns and things like that. So you find yourself, as you're crafting with them, you find yourself singing the songs as well. And then I'm also going to use the Woodland Wonder stamp, which is one huge big background stamp. So I thought, let's stamp onto the papers and show you how well they work together. So let's do, just deciding which one to do first. Yeah, let's use the Woodland Wonder. Too many W's. So you can absolutely just stamp with ink onto the papers or onto plain card or anything like that. But I'm going to emboss just to add that extra little pizzazz for Christmas. Because if you can't get blingy at Christmas, when can you? Wendy, you're asking about when the the papers? Sorry, I missed. Are you asking whether they'll be available through Stamps by Me? Yes, they will be, but not until after Monday. So Monday's release, they will be exclusive to Create and Craft. But if you're not particularly a Create and Craft member or shopper, there will be some on both the Stamps by Me website and the Thirsty Brush website. So don't worry about that. So I'm just going to try and hold this in place. I've stupidly cut it down before stamping it, which means I didn't have much room for my magnets there, but we'll make it work. So what I would do with stamping on and heat embossing onto these papers, as you do with your normal card, use your embossing anti-static bag. I'm going to put it all over because this is a huge all over stamp. So because that paper is quite absorbent, like your cardstock is, you don't want your powder to stick anywhere you don't want it. You want it on that lovely design, don't you? So I'm hoping this will look like we can see maybe we're coming out of the woodland after a winter walk and we're looking through the trees and we can see those lovely lampposts. I hope that's what it'll do. Did that answer you, Wendy? What time are the Create and Craft shows on Monday? Roxy Lee. So 7:30 and noon. Oh, thank you, Vicky. You answered before I could. I'll try and keep an eye on as many of your comments as I can, but it can move quite quickly when there's a lot of you watching. So thank you if you jump in and answer something for me. Do you have any anti-static bags in your shop? I have no idea whether there's any on the website. I think I've got some in my Birmingham shop. Let me check for you tomorrow, Tracy, and if I have and you need one, I can post one out to you. I'll come back to you tomorrow. That's all right. Right then, so I've gone over twice. It's a really forgiving stamp as well because I really haven't been paying attention there, chatting, have I, to you guys, whether I was even putting the ink all over it evenly. But you will see, even if I have missed a couple of bits, it's so forgiving because it's got all the beautiful detail of little branches and little kind of nooks and crannies that are natural to wood anyway, that it doesn't matter. Miss a bit. So I'm just trying to think. Yeah, this one gold. So I'm going to make 2 cards today. Same technique, but 2 cards at the same time. 2 different background papers, 2 different stamps. So this is the gold digger that everybody loves. I'm still waiting for more stock of this to come in. So the only way you can get hold of this at the moment is if you buy the pen set, the embossing pen that's on the website. To the other side. There we go. So who have we got anyway? So I'm just going to say hi to a few people. Tracy, Roxy, I know I've spoken to you already, but hello. Hello, Enid, Sarah, Maxine, May. Yes, May, I haven't seen you for a while. Lovely to see you back. Tina. Beautiful. And hi to everybody else. If you are new here and you haven't watched the shows before, pop into the live chat bit and say hi. We're all friendly, I promise. Or leave me a comment in the comments section if you're watching this on catch up. So I'm just heat setting that gold now. Will I be doing the black in the big? I don't know. Roxy, if I'm honest, I go by a lot of our decisions of because I have to order certain amounts of things, so it just depends if that's something that you guys would like. If you find that you're using a lot, get in touch, let me know, and if enough people want it, then we can look at it. So what I'm doing heat setting this right now is that I'm not holding it over as long as I normally do to melt it. And that's not because the paper can't take it, because it absolutely can. But for this card, I wanted for it to still have a bit of texture. And have you ever noticed when you don't hold your heat tool, look at that, stunning, isn't it? If you don't hold your heat tool, if you do it just till it turns, but it doesn't like melt and go smooth, then you get like texture to it as well. So it still doesn't rub off. But I thought that just added to the kind of woodland natural feel. Lovely. So that's one. The next background paper for a different card that I'm going to use, a square card, is I've chopped this down and I'm going to do, if I do this bit first and then we'll put them all together at the end. We're going to do the musical Merriest Time of All. If I can find where I've put it, over here. And I'm going to do this one in silver. So this is going on a 6x6 card. So this border, you can do it multiple times. You can do it down the side. It's really, really pretty. And you can build things on top of it as well. So I'm going to use it just about kind of 2/3 down, I think. I mean, honestly, these papers, I think you could probably just stick it on a piece of, on a card blank with a sentiment and people would be like, wow, it's still really amazing looking. But obviously we're crafters and we want to go that extra mile, don't we? So anti-static again. And my ink again. I keep putting things down when I'm chatting. Come on, ink. Oh, there you are. You talk to your craft stash as well. Hi, Pat. Hi, Linda. So Mo saying, love backgrounds. Great to get a good base. Yeah, and I think just because I've done a background stamp doesn't mean you can't layer it and use that on a paper as well, not just a piece of blank card. I want you to be able to know that it goes because I've designed it that way. And, you know, sometimes when it's Christmas and we're going a little bit all out, you know me, I like clean and simple cards as well. But I also know when to go that little extra bit. And if you can't do that for Christmas cards, then when can you? I think you'll get a lot of wows when people open cards with these papers. And people will be fighting to put them on the fireplace. So this is the silver lining. Won't be able to see much of it yet. So just make sure I've put the powder on the right bits. It will come out all super shiny now when I heat set it. Hi Charlotte, hi Barbara. Hey. No, Barbara, I think a lot of people just, some people do know each other because they've met at, say, retreats of Tony's or come to visit me in the shop or all the craft shows when they're normally on pre-COVID. But lots of people just get to know each other because they watch week in, week out, day in, day out, and there's always something to watch. So we're a very friendly group and all join in together and inspire each other. So this is the silver on that beautiful background paper. Really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do is, just to show you that you can stamp with your normal ink as well, I'm going to add my sentiment on this one, just stamped onto the background. So it's going to be from That Merriest Time of All. And remember I said they've got lots of like songs and hymns, and there's more in the other one with tree music as well. But there'll be Parties for Hosting, which is from, what song is that? The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And The Merriest Time of All, can't remember what song that's from. I'm sure you'll remind me. Hi, Sue. So I'm just going to stamp onto that with my normal black VersaFine ink. So you don't need anything special or whatever ink that you've got. So that's, I better get that piece of paper a bit straighter than that. I don't know if I'm doing sentiments. Deciding where to go. But I think for papers, the reason I pick these kind of designs is that the amount of depth and detail, wait till you get them in your hand, because it looks like they've already been kind of had layers and layers and layers on them, because it's just unbelievable. So pleased with them. Hi, Gemma. So that's our sentiment on that one. I've done a heat emboss sentiment already for this one. And I've also, in that same set, I showed you, you've got all these little, I'll hold it the right way up, all these little elements. So I've stamped and heat embossed some of them in white and just did a very, very quick, because like I say, this particular set doesn't have dies. But just I'm going to use them as little embellishments, I think. And that's my other sentiment for that card. So let's put two cards together. And hopefully we'll get two different looks, because we've got two different papers, but same kind of technique, embossing on the paper. And there's not a lot more that you need to do. Yes, you can pop your flowers on. Maybe you've got Tony's 3D pine cones come in, or maybe you've got my poinsettia from last year or something like that. By all means, throw it all on there. But what I wanted to show you is that if you are pushed for time or volume of you making your Christmas cards, you don't have to, and you can still get stunning cards. So pop in some wet glue on the back of this. See, some of the thinner cards papers out there, you would not be able to kind of abuse them, if you like, with heat embossing, inking, watercolouring, all that kind of stuff. They would just bubble and disintegrate. In fact, some of them even using a wet glue. I'm holding this down really firm because it's going on glitter card, and I know sometimes it takes a little while. So while I'm doing that, someone always gets back to me on the recreation. The inspiration is amazing. Ah, thank you, Barbara. So yeah, if you're not on the Thirsty Brush Bruchettes as well, join that too. We do a lot of kind of sharing of things between me and Tony anyway on both groups. Jealous of my Let's Make. Oh gosh, honestly, it's because it's so light now, so honestly it needs a good treatment. But I am trying to grow it. Did you see Tony's Fairies yesterday, that she gave you a sneak peek of the launch? And I meant to pull it out actually. She did a card, or one of the design team girls did a card with one of these papers in the background and the fairy on the top. So it just goes to show it doesn't have to always be Christmas cards as well. If you want that kind of magical winter feel to a card, even a birthday card. Sarah, you've bought the paint box. Yes, so Craftopia. I'm really piling on the info today, aren't I? Craftopia, if you don't know about that or you haven't got your ticket yet, loads and loads of people have already signed up for it. It's only $8.99 if you're in the Create and Craft Club for a 2-hour live class. So when I say live, it's not from here. I go down to Create and Craft and I paint. So you can paint along with me and we go really nice and slow, not like a YouTube video where 20 minutes and you've got to try and follow along. It is live and I'll talk you through it and we'll create something absolutely amazing. I'm going to send you, post you a pic next week of the project that we're doing. It's a floral project, so you can get your head around some watercolour florals and loads of blues and loads of greens that you can have in your, if you've already got the small, all you need is the 12 watercolour palette and some watercolour card. Some of you have already got that stuff, or if you've already got other watercolours, don't worry, you don't have to use mine, but I know lots of people were saying, I want to use exactly what you're using. So I'm going to be using just the small one. Just that. And Tony's Carter watercolour card and 2 hours. And you get access to you can replay it. I think it's up to 30 days, something like that. So it's $8.99 if you want just the class. And then there's a link as well on there to if you need to order some paints or card. But like I say, don't stress if you don't, or you've got something at home that you think will work, use that. Right then, back on track. Back on track. Yes, 27th. I don't know how it works, whether you guys will be able to chat or whatever, because it's not on here. It's through Create and Crafts Facebook, YouTube. I don't know how they stream it out. They send you a link anyway when you place your order for your ticket. So don't ask me whether you'll be able to chat to each other as we do it. But certainly there is a community group page that they've set up that I will have access to as well. Just stuck that sentiment on and I'm just going to trim off that excess there. Sorry, to go back to what I'm doing. So we can certainly chat after I've finished and for the 30 days, you know, if you've had a go then and you're having some problems or you want just some tips or anything like that. So I'm not going to stick these embellishments on just yet because I want to put the next one together and then decide which of the embellishments I want to put on which card. Oh, thank you, Audrey. That's lovely. So yes, you do need a ticket. That's the $8.99, Barbara, for the Craftopia, and that gives you access to the 2-hour class. And you can access it for 30 days after. If you check out my Facebook page, there's a link to it on there, either Claire Manning or Thirsty Brush. But I want you guys to, you know, you say you love doing the watercolouring, but some of you don't feel confident. Some of you just want some tips on doing some composition, but it is a kind of beginner onwards class. So I don't want you to feel daunted. It is absolutely achievable, what I'm going to do. You're going to be stunned by yourself because you're going to go, did I manage to do that? But it is achievable. We'll do it together. Right, so that's the two as they are with the sentiments. So yeah, let's think about how we'd want to add any of these embellishments. I think I've quite centered that properly. So I just want to kind of bring out the musicalness, I think, in that. Yes, under the light you can see it, but maybe for the camera above. So let's put the musical ones on there and the snowflakey ones over here. How about that? That sounds all right. Guiding where to go. And for an extra little bit of Christmas bling. Just going to add some sequins to the centre and an extra one there. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a Zoom one. Yes, Tracy, I know going forward, I never really quite got my head fully around Zoom classes and stuff during the pandemic. I prefer to do things face to face if I can. And normally Craftopia is face to face, isn't it? But yeah, it's something that I need to work on and get myself upskilled, because not just after the pandemic, because not everybody can travel. You know, yes, I live in the centre of the country, but we've got fans in the US, we've got people who can't travel even if they're relatively close, or it's just not feasible for everybody to come in person. And I want to be able to offer something to those loyal crafters who want to learn along with us. So, and you can do it in your PJs, like Gemma just said. Absolutely. I'm going to kind of layer these on. Just plain, really. I haven't really planned where I was going to put them. I don't want to cover the, what's it called? A treble clef. Is that right? Have I got that right? I'll be amazed if I've got that right. I'm so unmusical. Although I think I turn into Lady Gaga when I've had a couple of glasses of wine, but that's another story. So, 2 cards, 2 of the different paper designs stamped over. I've got that levelled right. With 2 of the different stamp sets that are on the show on Monday, to give you really, really pretty looks. If I just move that one a little bit, trying to get the gold, there we go. But if you don't want to emboss, don't emboss. You know what I forgot to do? We were going to add some splat, weren't we? As if I forgot. You know what? It's because I use this all the time and I've had to hold myself back from using it in demonstrations. It adds the most perfect snow because I feel like I was teasing using it too much, because you were like, I love it, Claire, but I can't have it. But yeah, it just adds the most amazing snowy splats look. Cute. And I splashed it all over the desk. Did you enjoy that, guys? Bit of a mix of things today, so I hope I've kind of caught you up to date with everything that's going on. So let me think now. We are Thursday. Tomorrow you have got Tony, 1 o'clock, Nathan? Yeah, 1 o'clock. Tony's doing her launch of If You Saw the Fairy Rings. Then you've got, I'm back on Sunday with a pre-recorded show that I'm going to do now for you, with another Christmas one ready for Monday. And then I'll be on Create and Craft 7:30 and 12 noon. So tons for you to go on over the next few days. And have a lovely afternoon. Enjoy the sunshine. Don't forget your SPF.